Hey, BassGeek here, and today we're going to talk about jerking it in the post spawn, one of my favorite things to do. All right, before we jump into talking about using a jerkbait during the post spawn, let's jump into the May BassGeek box. Okay, yes, I know it's late. Don't worry, we're doing a June one too. It's coming, but better late than never, right? Plus, you guys get to win. We'll talk about how you win at the end of the video. But right now, let's see what you're getting. For those of you that don't know, I work with Tackle Warehouse. There are links in the description of all my videos. So it does help the channel out and it's free to you. So you just go down, click on whatever link, buy anything. You don't even have to buy that product. I get a portion of that sale. Doesn't cost you anything extra. They just give me a percentage of what you buy. That does help with this ginormous boat payment. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest about it. So I do appreciate it. If you're gonna buy from Tackle Warehouse anyway, click on those links for me, help the channel out. But let's talk about what I'm gonna get you, the winner of the May BassGeek box. All right guys, May is a time of change. From the beginning of the month to the end of the month, the bass are moving. So they're either up shallow, doing their thing, or they're moving to their deep summer haunts. And that's sort of what I wanted to do for you right now. Number one, let's talk about a chatterbait. Guys, bluegill patterns are great in May, the 1st of May. I got you a black and blue. One of my two favorite chatterbaits to use is either a green pumpkin or a black and blue. I think the black and blue kind of cover a little bit of everything, so I went ahead and got you that. Oh yeah, you're gonna get a Mega Bass 110 Junior in one of my favorite colors, the Algae Bone. That is a killer deal right there. We're gonna follow that up with something. I love to fish topwater, and there isn't anything better when they're up there in the shallows, garden fry, than the boyo from heading. I'm telling you, throw it up shallow, work it out, you're gonna get some big bites and you're gonna get some numbers on this bad boy right here. Speaking of them garden fry, this is one of my favorite floating worms and my favorite colors. This and a methylate, I'm telling you, put this on a good 4 or 5/0 hook and get ready to twitch it, just like you would a fluke or a soft plastic jerkbait. You can't go wrong with the shaking my head worm that stands straight up. A shaky head is a big deal in the post spawn. A drop shot can pay off too. I lean a little more toward the shaky head this time of year, but as we get closer to summer and later in May, a drop shot is a killer bait. And this is a killer little color right here from Samantha's Baits. Next up, I got you a combo. I got you the BD Swimmer in a great looking color right here. Figured I'd give you guys a chance to try this out. This is Gizzard Shad, one of my favorite colors to throw during the summer. As we get later in the year, you know I love to throw those big 5 and 6 inch swim baits out deep. And you know at times I love to throw it on an underspin. So I got you a Gamakatsu underspin, good looking bait, good looking blade, a lot of stuff you can do with that, and that is what is in the box. Now let's go look at what I like to do with a jerkbait this time of year. Oh, I almost forgot, you do get a Tackle Warehouse sticker and a BassGeek sticker, which I don't have in the box right now, but you'll definitely get one. All right guys, let's talk about rod, reel, and line setup for a jerkbait this time of year. Now guys, you can go with a suspended jerkbait, but I am going to tell you, my favorite is a slow rising or a rising jerkbait. And one of my very favorite jerkbaits to throw this time of year has to be the Rapala Shadow Wrap Shad. I can work it around places like this over here, these lay downs, and really get down between those branches. And it really will pay off this time of year because those are the types of places that bass love to recuperate after they've spawned. Now, let's get back to rod, reel, and line. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my favorite. I do 90% of the time use the shallow diver this time of year, especially if they're still up shallow, garden fry, or possibly on the beds. This is the one time of year when even though I fish steep, deep mountain lakes, that I tend to go with a shallow diver. Now, I use 8-pound test fluorocarbon, the Pro 100 by K9 Line. Guys, as always, K9 Line. Listen, If you haven't checked out Canine Line, go check them out. I've got a 10% discount. You will not get better, and you will not get a better priced, high quality fishing line. Remember, Pro 100 is the true 100% fluorocarbon. The fluoro, that is a copolymer, so to speak, and I use that for a lot of other things. We'll talk about that later. This is, of course, my TFO, guys. This is one of my favorite rods. This is their high-end rod. This is their Resolve, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I will put this rod against any rod you want to throw in the lineup. Check out the Resolve series by TFO. This is a very well priced, high-end set of rods. Now, I use the 7-foot medium. I like to be able to get a lot of distance out of it. This one is rated for a 1/4 to a 3/4 ounce. I mean, that's pretty big for a medium fast action rod, but it'll throw my Rapalas around pretty easily and pretty far, as long as, of course, I've got it coupled with the Lew's Custom Pro Speed Spin. One of my favorite twitching, moving bait speeds is the 6/8-to-1, and you can tell I've had this one for a minute. She got a little bit of boat rash, but that reel, boys and girls, I can promise you, that reel ain't going nowhere. Great combo right here. Now, let's talk about retrieve. So like I said, one of the places I like to throw is in places like this right here. This is a great rest stop for when the bass are coming off the beds. And I'm gonna do a couple of different retrieves. I'm gonna do the old 1-2, 1-2-3, 1, but there's not gonna be a very long pause between any of it. So when I throw this bait out there, I'm going to really be working continuously. Now, I will change it up if I feel like they're shallow. If I'm up there, I'm gonna give it a twitch, twitch. And I'm not gonna hit that as hard either. And what I mean by that is I'm not gonna hit that and move it forward nearly as hard as I would as if I was really trying to get a big reaction out of it. So what's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna reel my slack up. And I'm just gonna soft twitches. Hopefully you can see that. Soft twitches. And what that does is that really keeps that bait in place. So when you hit those soft twitches, you're keeping it up there in that shallow a little bit longer. And what that does is if there is any sort of fry garters or any sort of bass recovering up in these shallows, it gives it time for it to set in their face and for you to get a bite. Again, great places for stuff like this is also going to be places just like that. That dock, good wooden dock. You can tell it's been there a while. Great shade, especially on a day like today. So let's talk about bite, okay? So when you're twitching real quick and you're not pausing at all, you're just going to feel it just getting nailed. It's just going to hit. You're going to side set and you're just going to work that in. Don't horse a jerkbait in, okay? So give them some line. Don't reel them to the boat as quick as you can, because that's going to be a problem when you get here and they've got a face full of trebles. Hopefully you got somebody that's got the net ready. If you don't have the net ready, if not, play them out. Try and wear them out. Keep the rod tip low so that they're not jumping around and jumping off. Even stick it into the water. That'll keep them very minimally jumping out of the water. All right, when you're working that slow retrieve, one of the big things is going to be just, you'll feel the bite a lot of times once you twitch. When you twitch that bait, that's when you're going to feel that bite. So a lot of times you're not going to feel it right here. When you hit that, it's going to load. You're going to side set again. And what's going to end up happening is when you side set, you'll do the same exact thing. You'll fight the fish the same exact way. Rod tip low, don't horse it to the boat. with these trebles. Let it wear out. Keep that rod low. Keep it coming to you. Get it in the boat the best way you can. And a lot of times they're going to get here and they're going to dive, and then they're going to want to jump up. And so the big key to that is let them dive. Get your rod out there. Don't give them too much line. If you have to push your button to give them a little bit, give them a little bit. If you have to loosen your drag a little bit, loosen your drag. But that's how you fight a bass on a jerkbait during the post spawn. Now, one of the things I didn't talk to you about was rigging. You can see I just broke the bill off of one of my jerkbaits. But rigging, guys, until I figure out a color, and sometimes it could be as much as the weather change, when it comes to a jerkbait, you'll notice this is very natural, very translucent, greenback. It's like any hard bait. If I'm out here right now, I'm probably not throwing this. If I've got to throw a jerkbait, I'm probably going to throw a soft jerkbait because it's a little more natural. I want a little bit of wind. There is a little bit of color to this water, so sometimes that will work, but I'd like generally just a little bit of wind before I start throwing these things. So that does mean, because sometimes I'll go between different styles of jerkbaits, I'll go between different types. So generally when I'm fishing, I will absolutely use a snap. It helps me hone in what those bass want. In my honest opinion, I think it gives a little more side-to-side action on a lot of these baits that have that side-to-side action. So how do you win this month's BassGeek box? Well, this is it. All you got to do is put jerk it, hashtag jerk it in the comment sections down below, and you'll be entered to win 1 week, guys. So when this video comes out, if it's on a Wednesday or if it's on a Sunday, it'll be the very next Wednesday video. If it comes out on a Wednesday, if it comes out on Sunday, it'll be the very next Sunday video. Be watching to win. I'm not going to tell you at the first of the video that it's a giveaway, because there's a bunch of hoodooers out there. So I want to make sure that you awesome geeks, that my hashtag 100% and my true geeks out there are getting a chance to win, not a bunch of Johnny one-times that swing by. You got to be watching. You know, I'm not going to tell you right at the beginning, and I'm definitely not telling you in the thumbnail or the description. So remember to win, hashtag jerk it. That's going to be in the comment section below. But as always, questions, comments in the comment section below. You guys know I love to talk fishing with you, and I mean that. I do love to talk fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you guys ring that bell so you get the notifications. You know when these videos come out, so you can see if you won or not. And as always, you geeks rock.